Hi, Ian. You wanted to hear from anybody that thinks Boris thing is over, move on, nothing to see here.
Yeah, fire away.
So I'm phoning in for that. So I don't know if you've heard the news, but there's going to be a police inquiry.
Yeah, working in a newsroom on a national radio station, we are aware of that biggest headline in the country at the moment.
Great, so you don't need to talk about it anymore then, do you? You can move on.
Why do you not talk? Why do you not still talk about it?
You don't need to. Wait for the policing. You've said for people to phone up, say why you need to move on. You just need to move on. This is the 75th show in a row for the last, 2 weeks? So Julia hands to Mike, Mike hands to you, you'll hand to Jeremy, Jeremy hands to Kevin. But it's just a bash Boris show. There's other stories, mate, that are going on, that are being spoken about on social media that you guys are missing out on. You've just become bash Boris. And I know you have to be balanced and all that kind of stuff.
Well, not really.
We don't have balance anyway, do we? I mean,
I think the authorities pulled that call. I think that's what happened there. There was a lever pulled, and we couldn't allow a pro-Boris opinion to go out at this stage, because that would just scupper the entire agenda that Mr. Smith, as no one at all has asked me to advance. But I don't think we can have that kind of view on the radio, really. Do you, Ryan? I mean, it would be terrible if we are to allow that. Dave, we've got you back. Sorry, your line cut off. How are you?
Yeah. I mean, you've got the greatest police force in the world that are fantastic at investigating hate crimes. Yeah. People putting up stickers. Cressida Dick and them. They're tailor-made, mate, to go out there and sort Boris out and come back with the biggest...
But that doesn't stop... I mean, that may well be specifically a discussion about parties, but it doesn't stop a national radio station, particularly when some of the most ardent supporters of Boris Johnson are now questioning his authority. Why do you think a national radio station that talks around issues like politics would not be discussing the potential demise or walking the plank of our Prime Minister?
I guess what I'm saying is it's been on all day.
Yes, but we don't make the news. We discuss and report the news and debate the news.
Yeah, but there's other much more important news items going on.
Well, indeed. We literally just talked about Ukraine a second ago.
10 minutes.
Yeah, well, you want us to do a debate on Ukraine? Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, exactly. So that's what I've got plenty of other topics that other people on social media. I guess what I'm saying is I've listened to talk radio for 2 years. Yeah. But over the last 2 weeks, I'm starting to turn it off. I'm sick. I'm just getting just bored of it. And I'm sure Mike will come on and say your listenership's going up. Well, unless a lot of left-wing people are suddenly tuning in, I suspect a lot of people are tuning out. So
but it's not about... Well, in fact, the listening figures say the opposite to that. But listen, it's not about left-wing, though, is it? This is about the government of the day. The government are in trouble, Dave. The government are struggling. The Prime Minister is struggling to get support from his own MPs. Letters are going in to the 1922 chair, who would like to see a vote of no confidence in their own leader. Are you saying that's not a story?
No, what I'm saying is everything you've just said, we have known for 2 weeks. Nothing you've just said, we haven't known for 2 weeks.
Yes, but the story does continue. I mean, there's no way the story just stays where it is. I mean, only today we learnt about another event that further feeds into this one. I don't think this particular event, by the way, is the most damning thing that's happened to Boris Johnson, but it's cumulative, right?
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying is Mr. Dominic Cummings has got another event he's going to come out with tomorrow and another one the day after. We get it. There's a police inquiry. Yeah. So, but you're right. On the inquiry, you're right. That is for the police to talk about. But there's also a Sue Gray inquiry. There's also the authority of the Prime Minister. What the heck was he doing turning up at a party during lockdown? That's a legit question. That's not going to go away. And I think most people who are debating this, Dave, are actually people who want to see
They don't want to see Keir Starmer in power. They want to see another Conservative, but one that they trust more than the current one.
You do realise it will put Keir Starmer in power, right?
I said this all along, but then you're absolutely right. I said this all along. If you put Rishi Sunak in charge of the country, decent man, big brain, looks good on the all of that, I get that. But if you put him there, what you're essentially doing is giving Keir Starmer the keys to number 10. But is that how we have to do business? Because that's a great debate in itself, isn't it? That nobody but Boris can run the country.
Yeah, but to be honest, that debate you've just had hasn't been had all day. It's brought up now and again as an anecdote, but it's partygate. What I'm saying is the Sue Gray inquiry now has to go away because Cressida Dick has got it. It's over to Cressida.
Well, yes, it is. It's over to Cressida on that specific point of parties. But, of course, the question isn't just about did the parties break the rules. The question is about the integrity, the honesty, the authority of the Prime Minister while those rules were being broken. And by the way, Dev, I'm bound to say tomorrow on the programme, actually, we're talking about the cost of living as our main subject. Not the Boris story, unless something absolutely explosive happens in the meantime. So that will encompass energy and jobs and the ability just to get through a working week or a working month. So, and we did that last week. We didn't talk about this every single day on this programme. And every time we start with a thread question at the beginning of a programme, we continue to introduce other subjects as well. So we will talk throughout the course of the afternoon with Paul Champlina, for example. We'll talk about property, we'll talk about landlords, we'll talk about cladding, we'll talk about all of that on the programme too. Dave, thank you